Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Video from Modern Dating here. He invited him on a date and expected him to pay, and it backfired. My man. Please, I can throw them below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow time.
I think I'm gonna leave, but I need you to pay the bill because I'm not paying the bill.
I can't afford to pay the bill.
You invited the man, and you want to leave because it seems like you're not having a good time, and you're telling him to pay the bill. Okay. Broke, dusty, musty crusties. I really need to make a t-shirt of that shit.
But I get paid on Friday. I was thinking maybe you just look out this time. I mean, you did ask me to come out to eat. Well, I sat here and pretended I cared about what you said for an hour. I think it'd be respectful for you to pay the bill.
Oh my god! I'm about paying a bill. I'll pay it, but that's.
She invited him on a date, but for some reason, she thought it was his responsibility to cover the bill, but it didn't go as she expected because he refused to pay for it.
What's the most a guy should spend on a woman on a first date?
$2,500. At least $2,500. At least.
Shut the fuck up.
At least the bare minimum, because it comes with everything. Well, they get to know each other. So, yeah, $2,500. And I'm not going no lower.
Why $2,500 though?
We both benefiting off of something. So, in order for it to really be beneficial, $2,500 is.
If we're both benefiting, then why am I spending the money?
So what you gonna give him on the first date?
A good time.
What's a good time?
Whatever it implies. Whatever comes along the way. The journey.
Like what?
I said whatever transpires. Who knows? $2,500 is the bare minimum. Shocking.
This sub 4 really thinks that she can get $2,500. She just says these stupid numbers. These women just say outrageous numbers just to go viral or something, because there's no fucking way. There's literally no fucking way that this woman is getting anywhere close to that $2,500 for whatever the fuck it is.
It said $5,000. Actually, how much you think?
At least $250.
That's ridiculous. On a first date, she ain't never had nobody spending $2,500 on her. Next time, find the girls you interview at Target. I feel like Walmart just ain't the spot. She ain't never been on a date. Did she ever have the opportunity to be in such place? Did she ever have a guy who spent that amount on her?
Right?
She better grab a seat and wait for the man who going to take her on that kind of date. But I know it's going to be a long ride, as most of us are no longer willing to spend more than $100 the first time we are meeting someone, let alone the amount she mentioned. Most of us know there is no need to spend a lot of money on a date, especially when we have never seen each other before.
I remember spending $2,500. It better be the most gorgeous escort that she's gonna do everything and anything for me at that kind of price for fucking months on end or something. Fuck, that's just too much fucking money.
And this is the reason a coffee date or a simple walk in the park are the best options for this situation. Also, we are well aware that if a woman is interested, she wouldn't care about anything related to the amount spent for the occasion.
True.
It will be all about getting to know each other. So from the moment we find ourselves in a situation where she has a certain monetary expectation, it sends a clear message that she is not interested, but wants to use that opportunity to get a free meal. In her case, based on her statement, it seems like she's talking about her dream date, not what she expects a guy to spend on her, because it's not realistic.
I think I'm gonna leave, but I need you to pay the bill because I'm not paying the bill.
I can't afford to pay the bill. But I get paid on Friday. I was thinking maybe you just look out this time. I mean, you did ask me to come out to eat. Well, I sat here and pretended I cared about what you said for an hour. I think
She pretended like I cared about what you said for an hour. Drizzle.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, I sat here and pretended I cared about what you said for an hour. I think it'd be respectful for you to pay the bill.
Oh my god.
Did you hear that? He sounds like a guy who has been there before.
I've never had anyone talk to me like that. I'll pay it just because you seem like you.
How about you see if your sister can cash out you something for it?
I'm literally like appalled. Like I don't like. Are you being serious right now?
I'll cover the tip if you want to like.
If you have the tip, then I'm not gonna sit here and argue with someone about paying a bill. I'll pay it, but like that's so sad that you would like.
You argued because you pushed him to pay it. You were arguing back and forth.
Like ask somebody.
Well,
else.
if you'll pay it, then what's the big deal?
Exactly.
Now come over here. Let me feel on it.
Why pay his half? That's his problem. The fact you didn't just get up and leave him. I sat here and pretended like I cared about what you said. Pay your portion, and he can wash dishes in the back.
Oh, see, look at this stupid sisterhood that comes in to defend. Pay your portion, pay your portion, pay your half. Where are these comments when it comes to the women trying to get free meals from the man? That she's telling him he has to pay. Where is that energy? It's never there.
I will never get this. I want him to pay, but I'm not going to expect it or argue about it. I won't go out if I don't have the money to pay for it. I would have just paid my bill and let him figure it out. It feels good to see a woman taking the initiative and asking a man out. They are getting the message and are taking the front seat when it comes to this matter. But apparently, she seems a bit confused. She doesn't know what's expected from the person who took the initiative. I know most women expect men to always pay the bill when going on dates, but this case is different. That option is not valid as she was the one who invited him out, so he shouldn't be responsible for covering their bill. Her main issue was not understanding that once you decide to take the lead, you need to be ready to take everything that comes with it, including the bills, and this is something she wasn't aware of. Since she didn't know his current financial situation, the minimum she should have done was be ready to cover the whole bill in case he didn't have money to cover his. How can you invite someone to a place, but at the same time expect them to cover the entire bill? If you want to go out but are not ready financially, at least make it clear to give the other party the opportunity to analyze whether it makes sense to go or not. Since he was invited, he probably assumed it shouldn't be a problem as he wouldn't be paying, but she had another idea.
Who should pay on the first date?
Person who asked. Sorry.
I agree. That's a good response. I would have.
Apparently, the woman on the previous clip doesn't agree with that statement because she still thought it was his responsibility to cover their bill even though it wasn't his idea. You guys should see the number of women in the comment section who couldn't believe that she went through that situation. They couldn't believe that he expected her to pay. They even suggested that she should just get up and leave the restaurant, as the bill doesn't belong to her. Based on their reaction, we are responsible for the bill, regardless.
I'm going to say this with my whole chest as a 40-year-old woman. When I was in high school, the boys were taking us to movies and to a dinner for dates. In high school. You got a picture show and Applebee's.
You also then have women showing all their goods off on Instagram, OnlyFans, all over social media. You also knew these persons because you went to high school with them. You saw them almost every day. You communicated with them. You somewhat know them, so you're willing to invest money into these people. Not just some random fucking stranger that you met as an adult that can make their own goddamn money. Why do I have to foot everything?
At 16, one of my teenage nephews recently took his girlfriend to a steakhouse on a date. Saved his little money, took his girlfriend.
We saw this clip before, and for her to be bragging about her 16-year-old nephew taking some random, I'm going to say it, whore to a steakhouse, which is probably going to be $60 to $100 for a 16-year-old. You seem to think that that is okay. You're setting your nephew up for failure.
To a steakhouse on a date. Do not let these grown men sit out here and gaslight you and tell you that something is wrong with you because you don't want to go on a walk as a date. Do with that what you will. First date shouldn't be where you are catching a vibe with somebody to see if you like them. You should already know if you like them. Me personally, and I'm just speaking for me, that's what the telephone is for, right?
You can't catch vibes on the phone.
If you want to get to know me, if you want to catch my vibe, you have to, you got to hit me on the buzz. You got to call my phone. That may be very old school of me, but I'm not going on a first date with somebody if I ain't already had some conversations with them and sort of felt their vibe and all that type of stuff. I'm not even coming to sit across a table or whatever from you, and I don't know that, I could tolerate it. Listen, I've had somebody say to me, well, I just feel like my personality pops more in person, which, I mean, I guess, but I'm hip. You can FaceTime me. We can talk on FaceTime, but I'm not giving you my number today and going on a date with you on Friday to catch a vibe. No, you can call me. We can have a conversation, right? Because I can tell in the phone conversation whether I'm gonna like you or not.
I knew I wasn't crazy. My son, who's 19, buys his girlfriend sneakers, and these men be pushing 40 and making excuses. If we went on a walk in high school, it was with ice cream after dinner. Exactly. Boys were taking us to the movies, buying us lunch and little gifts. I was getting necklaces and teddy bears.
Yeah, because we were idiot simps when we were kids, too. I forgot the other side of that thing. I was one of these. Not so much. I didn't really talk to girls because I was antisocial.
Listen, the boys were setting the standard in high school. Even if their mama had to drop us off, they took us out on dates in high school. My son took his girlfriend to a high-end steakhouse, flowers, gifts,
Wow.
please. She is...
Again, you notice how it's a lot of women in the black community that are saying these things about their sons and nephews. This is what's happening with this single mother epidemic in the black community the most, it seems, that all of these women are pushing these little boys and these young men to be complete simps to women.
Is all over the place, and that's why it's getting confusing.
Sorry, I interrupted too many times on this one, but this is why I feel bad for simps and I don't feel bad for simps. They were programmed to be like this by their mothers. It's very hard for them to program out. But I also have no sympathy for men that don't understand how the world works.
This is really simple, but her lack of understanding is leading her to compare the wrong thing.
I'm going to say this with my whole chest as a 40-year-old woman. When I was in high school, the boys were taking us to movies and to a dinner.
Comparing what used to happen years ago is not valid, because back then most people probably didn't have a
That was way before internet.
social media account or mobile phone. So things were a lot different, and at that time it made sense for them to do those activities on the first date. But after the introduction of social media and dating apps, our dating scene has changed, alongside everything surrounding it.
One of my teenage nephews recently took his girlfriend to a steakhouse on a date. Saved his little money, took his girlfriend to a steakhouse on a date. Do not let these grown men sit out here and gaslight you and tell you that something is wrong with you because you don't want to go on a walk as a date.
I'm telling you, man. He had to save up to take this girl to a steakhouse at 16 years old. Instead of saving up, working towards his goals, building a future, building some income or, some savings for himself, for college, for whatever it is. Nope. Spend it all on women, guys. Spend it all on ungrateful women.
This is another confusion. She just mentioned her nephew who took his girlfriend to a steakhouse. Remember, she mentioned his girlfriend. Most of us don't mind taking our partner on an expensive date. This is not a problem, but it becomes challenging when a stranger expects us to take them on these expensive dates, knowing that there is a possibility that we might not see each other again. Why would a man spend his hard-earned money on someone he doesn't know? This is the reason a simple walk in a park is a good idea, as it makes the whole interaction simpler, as nobody will lose anything if it doesn't work as expected. She is telling women that men should take them to steakhouse because her nephew is taking his girlfriend to that place.
Imagine trying to compare men to a 16-year-old boy that you groomed yourself.
How can this make sense? He is providing for his girlfriend, and she thinks that men in general should be providing for strangers we have never seen before.
Now, you can call me, we can have a conversation, right? Because I can tell in the phone conversation whether I'm gonna like you or not.
Really?
So based on her statement, after a few conversations over the phone, we should be willing to spend a good amount on her because we already know each other enough. But she forgot to realize that talking on the phone doesn't mean much.
Nope.
The whole attraction can fade out after meeting in person, and this is what she failed to acknowledge. So why should we put our money on it?
When a man wants to go 50-50 with you on a date, do this. Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed right now. Wait, you wanted to just be friends? I'm so confused. This whole entire time I thought this was a date. Oh my god. Okay, I'm so sorry. Here's my card.
Girl, 50-50 is so reasonable for a first date.
Right?
I work, I can pay for my dinner, especially on a first date when you don't know the other person.
Exactly.
Sorry, didn't know you were going through some financial issues.
Broke must
But
be
what
dusty
exactly makes her think that 50-50 is not a reasonable thing to do on a first date? Imagine if they go to an expensive place and it doesn't go as expected. It would be fair if each pay their half.
Correct.
Are you on it for the food or do you want to meet the other person? If he offers
For me, it's a little bit of both.
to pay, cool, but it shouldn't be his responsibility. If you are going through some financial difficulties, take some time off from dating and concentrate on improving that part of your life. It's a
Agreed.
better strategy.
I 100% agree. If you as men are struggling out there and you don't have your bills fully paid and you don't have at least somewhat of a savings, I actually agree that you shouldn't be dating. There's no point in dating because it's just more funds that you're going to lose and more time and effort that you don't even have because you're not making enough money or doing well enough anyways. Just how I see it. Please text her up down below. I really appreciate that and catch you guys next time. Ciao.